one of the really great things that we have at the Times, one of the great assets is we have 150 years, 161 years, I think, of text, of just stories. And we have all those stories accessible in a database. And for almost the entire life of the newspaper, a little bit less, but we've been annotating that. We've had the Times Index. You've probably seen at the library these big, fat, red books. So you could go and you could look up the index and find what issue of the Times and what section there was a story about that. So that really provides a basis for some exceptionally rich metadata that's been consistent over the history of the organization. So we're able to look at the text of articles as data, as very unstructured data, and begin to put some structure around it. And we do it in a lot of really different ways. So we have our metadata and our index now rationalized. So all the terms in the index match up to all the terms in our metadata, and we've connected that to this linked data cloud. There's this linked data movement that's trying to treat the entire web as a database of information. So, for example, we have named entities in all of our stories, and we have ways that our editors and our indexers say, okay, this is Barack Obama, and he's a person. And we have a way of describing that that's consistent across all the stories we've ever written that mention Barack Obama. Now, it turns out that other organizations, say Amazon, also have a lot of information about Barack Obama. They call him something a little different. They call him a number, I believe, or something like that.
Right.
And through this linked data movement, we're able to say that their Barack Obama is the same as our Barack Obama, and create these new editorial products that fuse these different bits of information. So, for example, one of the things that we have built as a tool, just as a prototype example of the kind of services we might be able to deliver in the future, is a search engine where you can type in a college or university, and we will go look through the articles that we've written and surface any articles that mention alumni or alumnae from that university, even though we might not have mentioned in the article that that person attended that school. Because we're able to link up the person's name with a larger database of college graduates.
Normalization. It does matter.
It does
right?
matter. It really
Not just
does.
when it comes to DMPs.
But I feel like, I feel like the bigger problem is getting all this stuff indexed. Rationalizing among the indices seems like a more solvable problem than getting everybody who's publishing on the internet to adequately index their content, but I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking about monetization challenges that it might cause, or rights challenges.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's lots
right? I mean, how does that work? Like, when you have everything linked together like that, doesn't it create a who owns what and who gets paid for what?
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, and you don't have to have the answer, but I mean, it's something I'm sure you guys are thinking about at the Times, probably every day.
If we can, atomize our content and connect it up, and have subscriptions to it by pieces, that's just theoretical,
right? Because I mean, for a consumer, that's a beautiful future. But for a creator of content, it creates a lot of questions.
That's right.
So let's go even bigger.
Okay.
Big data.
Okay.
I mean, what does that even mean to you, first of all?
Big data. Well, I guess big data means more than you can fit on one spreadsheet.
All right, I'll buy that.
But look, listen. I think it was Eric Schmidt recently who said something like that. That there's been more data created since 2008 than was created in the entire history of the human race up until 2008. I mean, the stuff is being generated at an alarmingly fast rate. I mean, people talk terabytes and petabytes and exabytes in real time. The kind of data that needs people who understand things like Mongo and Hadoop to start to work with and interact with. So that's like big data. And we all, at the Times and in all publishing organizations, that kind of data is finding its way, is bubbling up all over the place, because now that all of our content is digitized, it's making itself felt in that manner. So for us, big data is, oh wow, like looking at things like like all the server logs, all the mentions in social media, right? Matching that against all the words in all the articles. So when we start to talk about each of these individual pieces of little data and put them all together, now we're starting to get to big data.
I mean, doesn't that require totally different infrastructure to be able to process all that stuff?
It does a little bit, although now with Amazon and the cloud, it's gotten so much easier and more economical to do those kinds of things.